Hi guys, today I want to cover the final patch notes released late this week for D2R patch 2.6. I've been a bit busy with in real life stuff as well as preparing the team up for next ladder season, but here's my take on the new patch updates. So jumping right in, first up, the ladder launch times have been announced with times posted for US, Europe and Asia regions. For those in Australia and New Zealand, the kickoff times will be 11 AM for Queensland, 12 PM for the rest of Australia and East Coast, and 2 PM for New Zealand on Friday the 17th, not Thursday the 16th. Before this date, if you still have Ladder Season 1 items sitting around in your temporary shared stashes, make sure you clear those out by next Thursday or risk losing them forever. Onto the rune word changes. Cure and Hearth that were in the PTR update were by far the least useful out of the new Helm rune words. But with the new changes now, they provide some unique utility that can be useful for you. Cure now grants a level 1 cleansing aura, which even at level 1 will be useful for heavily negating that poison damage and any curses that get sprung on you. This of course also means that shrines won't last as long as well, but Cure will be a great Helm option for a prayer mercenary for that increase in general healing in conjunction with the synergy from prayer, for countering that nasty poison that comes from the likes of Akmel the Cursed, and for countering any curses in places like Chaos Sanctuary or Bale's Decrepify curse in the throne room, or that nasty blood mana curse that comes from Succubi or Bale himself. Hearth now grants cannot be frozen, which for melee characters that are in the front lines getting hit frequently, will be a great option for not getting their attack and movement speed slowed down by cold attacks. Hearth as well, unlike Ravenfrost, provides an early cannot be frozen option that also doesn't have any cold damage on it, which affects the generation of corpses that can be hawked or be used for corpse explosion. And the big one for today? The Hustle weapon has been changed to just a level 1 burst of speed proc, but in exchange now also gets a level 1 Fanaticism aura and some extra damage. This effectively turns Hustle into an actual usable weapon that can be made in any one-handed or two-handed melee or missile weapons for a variety of close-up and ranged melee-based characters. I explained in detail in my previous video about why having a level 9 burst of speed proc will be an unhealthy addition to the game that ultimately affects among other things the endgame itemization of the Bolzon. And while the latest version of Hustle doesn't outright remove the burst of speed proc completely, that disruption to the endgame itemization of Bolzons in all practice will be fairly benign. With a level 1 burst of speed, Windforce can still theoretically out DPS a Faith setup now, but it would now require a 160-60 Duelist armor and sacrificing or resist defense and life to achieve this. It would now require proccing burst of speed every 2 minutes instead of every 3.5 minutes, and the build will have a slower running speed than using Faith and Harmony together. So notwithstanding that a lot of you in the community perceive this Wineback to be a missed opportunity for improving melee-based builds against casters, which I sympathise with, and have in fact drafted a whole raft of changes that I would like to see implemented to help address the melee versus caster imbalance. I will continue to maintain this in a thread on the official Blizzard forums and will cover these suggestions in a future video as well in an effort to try and push the needle on getting some better balance around melee and caster builds. So anyway, notwithstanding all of that, the latest changes to the Hustle weapon are a good change that don't compromise the health of the game, while making Hustle a practical new weapon option for early game progression that can be made in 3-socket swords, axes, maces, spears, polearms, bows and crossbows that only cost a co-rune. The Hustle armor I explained in my previous video as well needed some more buffs to make this armor more effective. Well, it looks like our prayers have been answered with this one, and we ended up getting 65% run walk speed, which is huge, 40% increased attack speed, which closely rivals Treachery, +6 to evade for anyone using the armor, and +10 to all resists. These changes make the Hustle armor a strong contender against armors like Treachery and Lionheart, and a true upgrade to the Stealth rune word for melee characters. Mosaic also got a clear buff since its PTR version. This rune word for an elemental based martial arts assassin now got the following buffs. Double the chance from 25 to 50% of not consuming a charge, +8 to 15% to fire, cold and lightning skill damage, which dual wielded would be up to 30% more elemental damage now. And another new mod which states, when a finisher is executed this way, it now refreshes the expiration timer of the stack. I haven't personally tested this myself, but while it seems like all charge up skills can now be charged up and in effect act like a whole bunch of pre-buffs, with charges not lasting very long outside of combat, and with next hit delay affecting a number of martial arts assassin skills, I don't think this is an overbuff. The main issue with Mosaic is it creates a strong dependency on martial arts assassins to make a Mosaic to take advantage of these changes, where I think adding a chance to not consume charges would be a great thing to add into Claw Mastery in addition to leaving Mosaic at 25% chance. And lastly, the change in runes from Thal to Am to remove cold damage is a nice touch, to allow assassins using Mosaic to allow her to use Death Sentry's Corpse Explosion more reliably. Metamorphosis got a couple of small but good buffs. The main change being that Crushing Blow has now been moved from the Mark of the Bear and straight onto the helm itself. While this may be a nerf in some niche cases, it's a great change for shapeshifters that wish to use this helm while not requiring them to shift forms just to sustain that Crushing Blow bonus. It's just too bad that we didn't end up seeing a change that would allow shapeshifter druids to change directly from wolf to bear or vice versa. I truly think this is a missed opportunity here for the shapeshifter druid to realise his full potential with this new helm. For the changes and bug fixes, we have the strafe bug fixed. Yay! Well done to you guys who checked out my video about the bug strafe skill and shared this information around. I think we did well to help drive this point home to the devs. We will also now see Multishot's tooltip fixed as well to show the correct damage from the guided arrow synergy now, which is nice. Next, Enchant got fixed. This is a big one. Honestly, wasn't aware that this was bugged, but this is going to be a very hot change for you enchantresses and bolzons out there, and a change that I'm honestly looking forward to taking advantage of. For traps now benefit from minus enemy resistances, which is a huge and well-deserved change for the assassin, so good to see this one drop in as well. The druid's shockwave skill got nerfed through a bug fix unfortunately. I wish the devs would have reworked the skill into something that's intently doing the same amount of damage as it currently does right now, without outright only removing the bug and leaving Shockwave the way it is after that change. And finally, Cold Mastery got nerfed to only be working at 1/5 as effective against broken immunes, which in my opinion is well deserved given how broken that was last season. For the Terror Zone changes, Kurasua's has been changed to Great Marsh. Kurasua's was such a painful terror zone for melee characters without teleport, and so making this into Great Marsh instead, despite having souls there, will make running certain terror zone hours less painful. Ancient Tunnels has now been added as a terror zone, which hopefully will help soothe the pain from the Cold Mastery nerf mentioned a little bit earlier. But all in all, the terror zone additions don't include many physical immune monsters and therefore are buffed to melee characters as well because of that. So to sum up, with all these changes and other changes seen at face value, they mostly look pretty good, noting all the points I mentioned just earlier. The patch is however quite light in its volume, and so I can see why a number of people now are not looking to bother starting up for Season 3 ladder. I would have liked to see some skill balancing occur, much like Blizzard did back in patch 2.4. And so if I was to grade this patch overall...
Hello, I graded your paper tonight. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, she was.
B+.
So thanks guys for watching. It's not too late to find a team for this ladder. If you're looking to kick off from the first hour of ladder and want to play hard, hit me up on Discord and I'll try and organise something for you. Ideally, we're looking for Zealots, Summon Necros, Fury Druids, and another multi-shot Bolzon. If you're looking to play one of those, then let me know. In any case, if you like this video, then please hit the like button and do subscribe and hit that notification bell for future updates. I will be live streaming our ladder playthrough, so look out for that starting from ladder reset. Otherwise, have a great weekend guys, and good luck in this upcoming ladder season.